The meeting is called pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law. The meeting of, what is today, the 21st, May 21st, 2024, was included in a list of meetings notice sent to the newspaper. To what newspaper was it sent to? The Home News, Star Ledger?
I think Star Ledger, I think.
And on
January 1st.
January 1st.
2024.
Okay, and advertised in said newspapers on January 21st? January 1st?
Yep.
So, posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building on January 1st, and has remained continuously posted as required notices under the statute. In addition, a copy of the notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Proper notice having been given, the municipal clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of this meeting.
That's it. You can stop there.
All righty.
Okay. Thank you, Arnie.
Good job. And now if you would like to do the
Sure.
roll call.
Okay, Bob Puskis, he's on his way. Arnold Schmidt.
Here.
Bill Connell.
Here.
Bob Laporte.
Here.
Mary Lauco. Here. Robin Sudan is absent. John Moon.
Here.
Stephanie Chodel. Here. John Hurling, I haven't heard from him yet. David Triggs.
Here.
Ted Chase. Bob Warnlocker is going to be absent, right?
Yes.
Mayor Kramer.
Yep.
And Vanessa Jones, I just heard she's on her way.
So we have a quorum. Can I have a motion to open to the public?
Make a motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody from the public have anything to say? Nada? I'll take a motion to close to the public.
I'll make a motion.
Anybody second?
Second it.
John Moon second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And noted that Ted Chase has arrived at 7:04. Next up is approval of the April 2024 meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
We don't have the April
No,
minutes.
this is February.
February.
Well, who put April in here?
Originally, I put April, and then I forgot. Bill reminded me
Shame
that
on
February
you.
was tabled.
Okay, I rescind that. Approval of the February 2024 meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, open for discussion. Any comments? I gave Tara some comments in
I have them
writing.
here, yep.
And I was not at that meeting. But if there's no comments,
Motion to accept.
all right, second. Well, we've already done that, so all in favor of approval?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you for speaking up, everybody.
Aye.
Thank you, Ted.
I had to abstain because I wasn't.
Next is the financial report. Kara, would you like to go over that?
No, I abstained from the April meeting minutes because I was there.
We don't have
No, we
April
don't have
yet,
April.
yeah, just February. Okay. Financial report, I sent out with the agenda. I also put copies on the table, and I'm putting a copy up here on the screen if anyone has any questions. Probably easier if anyone has questions to go through it.
On the, it's about 6-7 lines down on the right-hand side under notes, it says mower batteries and parts. Are we going, do we have electric mowers, lawn mowers?
I am not sure, but I'm assuming we do. We're getting batteries and parts for it, so that was put in by DPW, so I'm assuming yes, that we must have something that's electric or something for the mowers.
Okay, well, it's just good to know that we're going with electric as far as that's concerned.
I'm thinking the automatic starts, things like that, you know.
Could be. Could be that, yeah. And then down about a third of the way where it says monthly expenditures $40,000, and after that it says professional consulting services. And then there's nothing in the notes other than security keys and locksmith for Naaman Williams Park.
Right, okay, so security keys and locksmith, that should be, that's for the line down. I need to put another space in there. That's for other contractual services, I believe. And then the 40,000, so it started off, the balance was 80, 40,000 was spent, but I believe that was from the last report actually, so that should be, it should be 40 is the balance from April 1st, 0 monthly expenditures, because the way it worked out, there was no charge for the way the billing worked out this time. So it I have to fix that. It should be balance is 40,000, 0 for monthly expenditures, 40,000 is the balance. So I'll fix that right now.
Okay, thanks. I was just looking at the...
No, thank you, yep.
The larger things, and the next
Yep.
one down, the larger thing is a 19,000 for landscaping, and it says plumbing supplies for that.
I don't know what the plumbing supplies are, so the note that DPW put in the admin system, which is what we go by, was plumbing supplies. So if it's for landscaping parks, I'm assuming it must be for like one of the bathrooms, maybe at Neiman Williams, I'm assuming, because they were doing a lot of work there. They were also putting, hey, how are you? It wouldn't be, I guess it could be called plumbing, but really they're putting drains in under the pavement at certain points, so I'm wondering if some of it is that. But I can find out exactly what it is if you want.
Okay, I thought those were just the two big
Yeah.
monthly expenditures that I was just interested in.
That's not
seeing.
covered under the Neiman Williams Park grant.
No, so the Neiman Williams, no, it's not, because that was part of when DPW paid. The other supplies, like the stone and everything like that, that'll be covered because that's green infrastructure. The piping is actually considered regular conventional stormwater treatment, so it's not covered by the grant.
If there's no other questions for a financial report, Bob Huskis has arrived. And,
Just a point of clarification. I noticed for the more batteries and parts, then down further, you have the gas propelled lawnmower and parts. Shouldn't that be one category? What? Explain that.
You know, so that I can't answer only because I didn't do that charge, so I don't know if there was a reason that they were put in two different accounts. Let me see what account where's the gas pump thing that you're talking about? So I see mower batteries up here is under equipment repairs and maintenance.
Just come down, you see.
Oh,
the-
gas propelled mower.
Yeah.
Other equipment and supplies.
It's $30.
Yeah.
I actually like that it's separated because it shows that if you just said mower parts or something like that, you wouldn't see that we're using electric in some way instead of fossil fuels.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it was done in two separate lines. I can definitely ask, but that I don't know why either. When I was typing it, I kind of had the same question, but I just didn't get a chance to hear back yet, so I can definitely ask.
Question for the mayor, during the budgeting process, have you discussed getting electric? I'm thinking it's just batteries for stuff, so you don't have to, it's key start stuff, not really environmentally friendly.
That would be my guess. What we're talking about battery-wise is a backhoe. Well, maybe I'm calling that the wrong thing, but some moving equipment like that. That's an electric vehicle we've been considering. I don't know where we are with it. I mean, we liked it. It costs about the same. It will run for about 8 hours, but that works for a lot of things. So that's a consideration. I haven't heard anything about a mower. I don't think that would be very practical for what they do. And especially this time of year, they are flat out. And people
Yeah.
are always pointing out to us, what is a mowed?
Yeah.
So,
I wonder if it's
Would you
like a
like to
smaller
look around
mower
find
for
it?
like edge work or something maybe?
I have no idea. I'm guessing Bill's right. It's batteries like you have in your lawn tractors, so you can start.
It could be blowers too.
Yeah. I could ask and find out if we have an electric, like what it is, for sure. I can definitely get that
Well, probably
info.
electric start lawnmowers, or you got batteries for those.
By the way, you said Bill's right on camera.
Scrub the tape.
I'll ask.
All right, thank you for starting meeting, Arnie, sorry I'm late.
We just have to approve the
Financial report.
financial report.
All right, there's no other questions on the finance report. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, very good. Next on the agenda, new business. Auditor summary. We got some data.
Yes, I have some, not as much as I would like, but I do have some. So, okay, so let's see. Where can I begin? So, we have 75 responses out of 143 permits that were issued. After tonight's meeting, I'll be sending another email to the people that have not responded for sure. So 75 out of 143, that's a little under 50% of a response rate. The totals for season 1 is you can see that there was 46 antlerless and 4 bucks, and that was a total of 50. So that was about a little over 47% of the total season was in season 1, which is between September 9th and October 28th. That's bow only. Season 2, not including the 6-day firearm allowed season, there was a total of 20 deer called, 13 were antlerless, 7 were bucks. And then we have season 3, which is firearm season. That's January 1st to February 17th, plus the 6-day firearm season, which is December, I think it was December 6th to 10th this year. There was a total of 35. So we have a total, so far, of the 75 responses, there's been 105 reported deer called through the program. I went through and looked at which areas were doing the best. So before I get to it, I'll show you. So basically, for every area has a sheet, and I can tell you by permit what was done. I then put the answers of all of that into this main sheet up front, and we can look at each area. So Butler Road, for example, there was a total of 23 deer called through all the season there. 15 were antlerless deer in season 1. So again, that's bow only. That's actually an increase of 21.74% from last year, which is great. The next area is County Route 518 property. So you'll see there's an increase of 200%, but that's because last year it was closed. So, yes.
Are deer identifying themselves differently? What's, like, the antlerless means doe?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
yep. I can say doe, but I sometimes I just say antlerless,
Antlers,
so.
well, antlers is the right terminology.
Yeah.
Because you got a buck without antlers, because it's checked in as antlerless deer or a button buck, a yearling.
Right, that's
So
true.
antlers is the right way to track them.
Okay. So County Route 518, we did have it open this year, and so we have reported a total of 2 deer. Now, that area is missing a lot of its responses, so we only have 4 responses in, so I'll be trying to get more information from them shortly. The next area is DeMont Lane. We get a lot of responses. DeMont Lane hunters are great. They always get us their responses right away, which is awesome. They had a total of 13 this year, 8 responses, so it was down 40%. We are missing 2 responses, and then there was one person in particular that got an injury right at the beginning of the season and couldn't hunt at all, and normally he hunts a lot, he does a lot. So there's kind of a reason for that. Let's see, Elizabeth Ave, we only have 3 reported, but only 2 responses at this point, so we need to get more from there. Negri Napodi, we have a total of 14 deer reported for the whole season. 5 responses are in, that's actually up 17% from last year. 10 Mile Run, we have 16, there was 24 reported last year through the program, so that's -8, but again, we are missing a lot. From 10 Mile Run is where we have most of our permits, and we only have 16 of the responses back, so we're missing a good amount from there. What else do we have here? I'm gonna scroll over. Willow Road, 5 reported in, 8 were reported last year. We have 6 responses, there's only 7 permits there, so that one's actually pretty close to what it's gonna be. Then next should be Wilson, yep, Wilson Road. 5 total reported deer, there were 13 last year, so again, that's -8. We only have 4 of those responses in, so we're still missing more than half of the permits from that area. Weston Road, I believe, yep, Weston Road. So there was 6 deer reported for the season, which is 2 less than last year. 5 of the responses are in, I think that area we have 7 or 8, I can't remember off the top of my head, but we're pretty close, I'm just missing a few people from that one. Memorial Forest, we don't have any responses in yet, so it's really, I mean, it says -1, but it's not really worth looking at that because we don't have responses in yet. Terhune, there were 7 reported deer of 2 responses that were submitted. We're missing quite a few from there. And 0 reported in, I'm sorry, not 0. We have 7 deer reported in from the Scott Farm. This should say 4, I changed that last minute. 4 responses in from there. So that's up a lot from last year. 5 more deer taken from there. And this is the Dunn property. Only 2 of the responses, Dunn and Gunther, were missing quite a few permits, so please just keep that in mind. But there were 3 total reported deer. Gunther, there were 2. And I believe Gunther is the last one. Yes, because we don't give permits out there. So I basically then looked at that and looked at all the properties. So the number 1 property at this point in terms of how many deer were called is Butler Road, which that it really tends to be the case. Butler Road really tends to do well. We actually increased the amount of permits there last year just by a few because there's always a lot of requests for Butler Road. So they are the first ranking property in terms of the amount of deer that were called, followed by 10 Mile Run, which is where we have most of our permits, and that allows firearm and bow, and then followed by Negri and Pody, then by DeMont Lane. DeMont Lane's an interesting case study because it's one of our smallest properties, but the group that hunts there has been hunting together for a very long time and they're very active. So that, even though that's one of our smallest properties and we give out the fewest permits there, it's because there's a strong group that is like really committed to hunting there. So they always do very well. And then you can see we kind of just go through the list from there. So after tonight, I figured I would show you all what we have, and I'm going to send out an email basically saying I need the rest of those responses. Usually when I send one, I'll get like 10 or 15 back at one time, so that'll give us some more info, and I can keep you updated as we move on. We're going to start working on the applications and the permits for next year soon, because we usually start ordering the signage and everything in after July, after it goes to the July council meeting. So we get the resolution on in July and then start ordering the signage, doing the applications, and we usually have a due date of beginning of August, and then we get the permits out by the very beginning of September.
Bob, I have a question for you. When I'm looking at a number like 23 or 13, how many events is that really? Like if you go out hunting on a Monday, are you getting 1 deer, 2 deer? Is that 20, does that represent 23 days? Does that represent 10 days? When you're looking at like 23, like if you get 1 deer, do you say I'm done and you leave the property, or do you do multiple?
Well, guys go multiple times. You don't get a deer every time you go. There's no report of how many times you go.
Right, but I'm just saying, so if you get 1 deer, are you done for the day, or?
No, it depends what. It depends what season you're in.
Right.
Okay, the very first season, now this is off the top of my head, so I don't know if you get it right or not. The first season, you have to shoot a doe first before you shoot an antler deer.
Right.
All right, so that's the first season, but then doe-wise, antlers, let's just go back to antlers terminology. Antlers, you can shoot all you want. You can you shoot 2 in the morning and check them in, go back in the afternoon, shoot 2 more. Antlers deer is not limited in New Jersey.
Right.
You're limited, now they're changing it up a little bit this year. They're talking about, right now the hunters are allowed $6 legally. They're going to change, they're talking about changing it to having $7 so guys can have a little more opportunity to get extra deer, to get more guys in the woods type of deal. Because the way it works now, if you shoot 2 bucks in 6-day firearm, you can't shoot one in the permit season for antlers. So what they're going to do is leave the 2 bucks in 6-day and add one to the firearm permit season. Before, if you shot one in 6-day and you didn't have, you had the right to shoot one during the permit shotgun season. They're trying to make it simpler or making it more confusing. I yelled at them the other day about straightening this stuff. I had a private meeting with somebody writing their laws up, and I said, you gotta make this a hell of a lot simpler what you're doing. They're trying. They're gonna change zones this year. They're gonna be a lot. And it looks like from our numbers, it looks like we're doing okay because statewide the numbers are way down.
Yeah. We did, I think, pretty okay. So Bill, like, one answer to your question maybe, so if you look at Butler Road, if you look on the screen, this is Butler Road by permit now, so this is, I don't know who, I mean, I can find out who these people are, but it's by each permit. So you can see it also depends, I think, by the hunter. So like whoever this one is, number 8, they had 8 for the entire season, so I'm assuming it's pretty good, right?
Right.
But we have quite a few that it's like, 1, 2, some are 0. Like this person here, number 6, I don't know, there could be a reason why, but 0 all season. So I don't know if it was just bad luck or they didn't go out. It could be a multitude of
Well,
reasons.
one thing I've noticed at Middlebush Park and the surrounding area
Yeah,
is a steep drop off of deer. And I
okay.
don't know what the reason is, but I'm assuming it's coyotes,
Mhm.
because I do find deer parts,
Oh.
like, and I do hear them at
Okay.
night after they make a kill. It sounds like hyenas, like.
Could be them, for sure, yeah.
So, but I mean, a steep drop off of the amount of deer I see every day.
Oh, wow, okay. Could be that, and then Kathy Blumig from our Ag Advisory Committee, she had also mentioned that the disease that was going around, is that still a problem?
Now, they said they didn't find any this past year, but
that's good.
coyotes don't get a false sense of peace, because coyotes do not kill that many deer. If you find a bone, they're probably dragging the roadkills and stuff in the woods and feeding on them. Coyote will catch a few fawns in the springtime, but they catch an adult deer, but they're hunting in a pack. They're
This
not
was
gonna
a
catch
fairly small deer, based on the size of the hooves and
Yeah.
the leg. There were 2 legs and some innards.
They'll,
but,
they'll catch a few fawns.
But it wasn't near the road, so I know it wasn't
Take care of it.
roadkill. It was
Yeah.
in the park by the detention basin.
I can back.
And I
up
can
with-
hear them. I know when they make a kill, because
Yeah.
it's like a,
Well, he's surrounded.
like a feeding frenzy.
They surround it.
Oh, wow, okay. It definitely could be that, for sure, yeah.
Well, I could back up what Dave says in my yard personally, that forever it seems like we've been in this house for 19 years. We see 4, 5, 10 deer 4 or 5 days a week. I haven't seen a deer in my backyard in the last 2 weeks.
Really?
Over the last year, I would say we've seen very few deer.
Huh.
And
The hunting program's working.
we live between Demont and
And I think
J&K.
coyotes.
I would like to
Okay.
counter that by 4 deer sitting in my front yard eating my brand new garden, saying, hey, how you doing? Busy, you know? Last night at like 10 o'clock at night, they're just hanging out, munching on my stuff.
Look, deer are nice to see, but it's a good thing that the population is
Are there any other questions on the report? If not, we'll move on. Scoping for the hearing for the division of the councilman diversion.
Yes, so we held the scoping hearing for the diversion at Castleton Park, which is to put the valve in on the existing Sunoco pipeline. So no one attended, which I think we kind of expected, so, which is fine. I stayed until 7:30, just to be on the safe side, so no one came from 7 to 7:30. And, but that happens with those kinds that are just like replacing a valve or replacing, some type of equipment, not many people will attend, So we held a scoping hearing, so now the public comment period ends on May 27th. So as soon as that public comment period is over for written comments, we can then start doing the official application to Green Acres to get that going. So, which is lengthy, it takes quite a while to do that, but the people I'm working with at Sunoco, they're very helpful in putting the application together. They have a lot of information already set, so far so good.
Good. All right. National Trails Day.
So National Trails Day, it's always the first Saturday of every June. So this year it's Saturday, June 1st. It's going to be at the Bunker Hill Natural Area at 10 a.m. The New Jersey Native Plant Society is going to have a table there. One of our New Trails members is a member of the Native Plant Society, so he's going to have a table there. We also teamed up with the Watershed Ambassador. So for our area, the Watershed Ambassador is Claire Paul, and she worked with us on the garden at the Meadows House, which is great. So she's going to actually do a presentation and a game for kids and families. And then Vanessa, she's on her way, she should be here soon. She's going to lead a walk for anyone else who wants to do a trail walk. So I registered it on the National Trails Day website, which I always do. We have a flyer that we have posted, and so hopefully, we'll get a good amount of people. If you're interested, it usually takes about an hour,
Good.
Yeah.
All right, old business. Anybody else have any new business to bring up?
Do we have any update about the softball field that's over by Canal Walk on on whether that's completed yet?
I don't personally, I don't do, I'm not sure if you have any.
And the one that's being donated by...
Yes. On Weston.
I'm told they're finishing up the little things that we had on the list to accept it, so it should be soon.
Okay, and I understand that Middlebush should be done this coming week with,
Mr. Bornhofer and I discussed it today.
okay,
He said there was a puddle forming there and they were regrading.
okay.
Mayor, there was a comment made on Facebook about the plan changing the amount of parks and whatever they were giving us, changing from the time of the approval to now. Did that plan change, you know? Like,
I don't understand.
it's like a baseball field, it should have been more soccer fields or whatever it was like, whatever they offered, like 2 or 3 years, actually it's longer than that.
Who they?
I guess Summerfield, that's what we're talking about here, over by
Oh,
Summerfield.
right.
What?
Okay, you're talking about the same thing. It's-
Same thing, yeah. So did that plan change from what they originally offered to what we're actually getting?
I'm not aware of a change, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
There's no change. It's a hardboard salt wall and I think either cricket or soccer. That hasn't changed.
I thought there was a playground. I thought there was a playground.
Well, I didn't hear about the playground. I'm sure there's a playground there.
I've not heard anything.
Old business, Franklin Pathways, Trails Advisory Plan, final draft.
So I compiled all the comments that you all submitted on the Pathways and Trails Plan. Thank you, I appreciate all of your comments. I read every single one of them and implemented them where feasible. There was a few that I had some questions on that I had to bring back to the Trails Advisory Committee. So at the last meeting, we ended up running out of time because there was a lot of planning for National Trails Day happening. So at the next meeting, they'll finalize those comments and then I can send that draft to planning. So it's only a few small outstanding things.
Were you able to talk with Chris Kelly from Trails at all in the county?
No, I was not. I will do that as soon as our Mark Healy sees it, then I will definitely work at the same time with him on that, or however he wants to do it, I defer to him, but we will, absolutely,
Okay.
yep. We did use the county's plan as one of our foundational sources for that.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next on the agenda is the grant from Sustainable Jersey for Neighborhood Williams Park.
So it's still ongoing. Rutgers helped me put together the supplies list that I needed for all the green infrastructure, and they gave me the amounts and everything, which was really helpful. So I am setting up a meeting with Carl at Neiman Williams Park to figure out how we can actually get the work done and how we can like purchase it and get it delivered and all those things. One thing that's kind of interesting, it's a little separate, but there's a foundation called the We Love You Foundation. It's like an international volunteer foundation. They reached out to Wendy White from the Youth Center, Rec Center. And basically what it is they do these large-scale volunteer projects around the country. So they wanted to do something around here, and they were looking for a big tree planting. So I met with Wendy at Neiman Williams Park and said maybe they could do the tree planting for the green infrastructure, because it's like 50 trees. And they did seem to be interested in it. So she's kind of handling that part. But if they are able to do that, that would take, save us money from the grant, from using it from the grant, that we could do that. So I think the plan is right now that someone from it's called We Love You, like not Y-O-U, but you. They're hoping to present to the Shade Tree Commission next week and see what they think about, using money.
This week.
Or this week, yes, this week. They're going to be presenting there, and to see, if they can find out what kinds of trees does the Shade Tree Commission approve, can we use money from the Shade Tree Fund for those trees? So it's a whole thing they're doing. But once I find that out, if that's approved, then we will, instead of just focusing on one priority from the grant, we can, instead of use the money we were going to use for trees from the grant, we can use that to do more of the green infrastructure, which would be great. So we'll see. So I'll keep you posted. After they meet with Shade Tree, I'll keep you posted on the next one.
Do you need like a resolution or decision from the Shade Tree Commission about whether the tree funds?
Yes, if the tree fund can be used. So I
purchases?
told the person from the foundation that they need to put together a comprehensive document that explains how many trees, what their plan is for planting them, what experience they have, when they will be, to put everything. I haven't got anything yet. I checked with Wendy right before the meeting to see if she had heard from them, she didn't yet. But I said when they go to the Shade Tree Commission, they have to be prepared so that the Shade Tree Commission can actually give them a response, so. And I think Wendy is also planning on attending, just so you know, like she'll. Wendy White. White, yeah. Everyone calls her Wendy Williams.
Wendy.
Yeah, but it's Wendy White, yeah. I do the same thing. So she's gonna be there. I forget the person's
She's
last
very
name, but his
good.
name is Alex. Yeah, Alex from the We Love You Foundation. They'll be presenting and explaining. And I explained to them that there's a list of trees that are to be planted versus not planted, so they understand all those parameters.
I was planning to, the commission a couple months ago discussed a few species of trees for that park, because we
Oh,
were thinking of
perfect.
doing like a one Arbor Day planting there, so I
Awesome.
think we already, but it didn't happen, but
Yeah.
we already have some trees in
Oh,
mind, so
perfect.
I'll be sure to bring a list to that meeting,
Excellent.
so we can all.
Okay,
put our
yeah,
facts
they
together.
understand that they are to defer in terms of the types of trees, and say they ask for 50 trees, but Shade Tree, wants to only approve 30 trees or something, they understand that there is, they're limited by what is approved.
So I have a question, because some trees that really like water are very messy, like willows messy, river birch are messy, like they drop a lot of twigs and stuff, so would you like stay away from trees that create cleanup problems?
I mean, if
'Cause I think
possible-
there are other trees that are also.
Yeah.
possible.
The main thing for that is that they have to be trees that will be effective in soaking up water, because it's for green infrastructure purposes, but yeah, if we can reduce any extra work that DPW has to do, I think that's
Yeah.
important.
So
Yeah.
do you want a lawn maintained under those trees, or is it okay if they have, they're talking about cypress, which they bring up knees, so I'm not sure.
I think it's okay if
It's okay
underneath
for
those
like-
planted trees, if there's, vegetation, but I don't want DPW to have to go in between trees and things like that. That I think is too much, so,
Okay.
yeah, I think,
Yeah, I just, from my own yard, I don't.
Got it. That makes sense. That's why they're coming to you guys, yeah,
Yeah.
so.
Tara,
Thank you.
have you heard anything about the tree maintenance plan that John was supposed to be developing?
No, I know at the last meeting, what was said, they were working on, we're trying to get a consultant, I believe. I haven't been updated. I don't know if Shade Tree has
I
been.
think we had the quotes for
Okay.
the work to get done, and I think last time Bob Warlocker said that all those things are moving forward.
Okay,
And the
yeah.
money's taken from the Shade Tree fund.
It'll be paid for from the Shade Tree Fund, okay. I'm not involved in that, so I haven't heard.
At the last Shade Tree meeting, it was discussed that they're putting together a plan.
Right.
That first is gonna, before it's approved, it's gonna come to Shade Tree for our review.
Got it, okay.
And we have not seen that yet.
And, right, yeah, I'm not sure where that stands exactly. You guys would probably know better, but I can also try to find out, so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, our chairperson does the communications, so we'll remind him at the meeting.
Yeah.
We'll remind Steve at the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
about
maybe
whether
ask him, yeah.
Sure.
That plan has been.
Yeah, Steve's on top of that.
Yeah, okay.
The other thing under old business that it was discussed at the last meeting before about the Meadows Foundation, getting a look at their books and why they're in such bad shape. Can we get a hold of them? I mean, have they been asked about finding out the record? and
Yeah,
stuff?
so I reached out to ask Sue Ann. I have not been able to get in touch with her. I know she is working a lot recently, so I think she just didn't get back to me yet, which is fine. But once she does, I'll ask her if we can see them. From what they shared with us, I think a few months ago, I presented that spreadsheet when they asked for, help with some utility bills and stuff. It looks like, from what I can see, that first of all, their events, I mean, they only charge, $5, $10 for each person. The other thing is the leases. They're working on redoing the leases because I think what they're charging, they feel, is a lot less than what they should be charging or could be charging. So I think maybe when they get the leases up to,
Well, I spoke to one of the tenants the other day at length about her lease and things what's going on, and the tenant, the Whitecroft Garage and tenant tell me what they're paying and what they're charging back to the Meadows for mowing their lawn and stuff like that. There should be money to be had in that situation there. But she's saying that like the Whitecroft Garage and house, the people in charge want to keep the heat going for the wintertime at 60 and 70 degrees. They run it, they keep it up too hot, then they run out of propane. They're buying the propane from one of the most expensive places you could buy it from. It's just a lot of some mismanagement be going on, because they're paying them X number of dollars to mow lawn, you only pay them, they're not even 6 months out of the year for that, and it's not that, they're not paying them that great amount of money. So, and how much could the electric bill be for that place? I don't get it from talking to her, that house should be turning close to 10 grand profit a year at the current rate.
Can, at some point, we, rather than buy the highest, put out a bid for propane and
Heating oil.
heating oil?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
You
definitely.
may have companies who may want to donate some of it too, or just give it, or sell it for cost.
Possible, yeah. I mean, the spreadsheet they submitted to us last time, just so you know, so their PSE and G bill, February through April, for all the houses was $5,400. The propane anticipated through April, based on last year, and this was submitted in February, so February, March, in 3 months, $6,070. Hey, Vanessa. They also have accountants' fees, caretakers' payroll, they have oil, Skyland's oil, $27.50. Then they have, insurance, we didn't pay for insurance or anything, but they do have insurance payments they have to make. Construction loan, which isn't that much, $900. So that's.
So like, I know they're heating the sedan house, but what are these heats set at in these houses? 45, 50 degrees is more than enough to keep a house for the pipe to freeze, but you don't need to have it really warm.
If someone's living there,
What's that?
if someone's
No, no, no.
living there.
Not sedan, that's sedan, I lose over
Oh,
there.
okay.
But
Someone is
that's
living in
the other
Bedford
problem, that
Falls,
house has been empty for
Yeah.
almost going on 5 years now.
But the other three are Colo, right? Van Wickle, Wyckoff Garrison, someone in Van
And
Wickle.
Hageman,
Oh, no, not Hageman, yeah.
I know Hageman and Wyckoff, but I don't know what the other one.
Van
Van Loo, there's
Wickle,
nobody in
not
there.
Van Loo, but Van Wickle, there's somebody in there.
Okay, well, like I say,
Yeah.
I think it's people don't know I don't want to say not know what they're doing, but I don't call it mismanagement or what I want to call it, but I think they could tighten the belt of them, so there's ways they can save money, and they're not doing it. I don't know how they figure out what they're doing or why they're doing, but, and I don't think they get a big turnout for a lot. Some of these events they get big turnout, some they don't. I know they're having doing something at the Van Wickle house that would take 2 months, Sundays of the month or something coming up for the next couple of months, and you don't see anybody go to them.
Well, you don't really hear much about it. They don't really promote it much.
No, they don't know what they're doing either. You're 100% right there.
There's not a presence that you feel that it's there and it's something you go to.
You know,
You have
they
to work
promote
too.
it, I don't know whether the town does.
Well, the
You would think
promotion
the
is
town
low.
does.
If they are promoting it, it's not enough.
They've got a sign
Get
hanging on
trials.
in front of the Wyckoff Garrison house there. It's about this big. It's
That's
so
not
long.
enough,
And you can't,
though.
I sit there, coming out of the tractor, look at it, I can hardly read it. So how's a car going
And if
50
you're,
on South Memphis Road gonna
if
see
you're
it?
driving,
I
you're not
used to
gonna,
yell,
you're not
maybe.
gonna see
I don't
it.
think so,
So,
maybe,
so
yeah.
if you could say to Bob and Safi that we should probably look to have the Franklin Times at least list their events.
And the other thing
Put
is.
a calendar in there of their events.
Yeah, so on the community calendar, they can post the events, but that's a good point. Does the township advertise it? They don't, so the only way we would be able to advertise it unless I was watching their website to see when are they having an event is if they send it to us. So I can tell Sue Ann, hey, anytime you're having an event, please send it to me and I can get it on Facebook
Yeah.
or whatever, but I need it, in order to
The
send
Van
it.
Loo
yeah.
house across the street from me is just a spectacular. I know they're doing work on the inside.
There's nothing going on in the house. There's nothing worked on at all.
Nothing.
Zero. They've got a big grant to fix that house, and they've had the grant for, when I was down, a year, and nothing's going, they didn't cut the grass for the first time last week. And I don't know how that poor lawnmower did it, while the grass was that high.
Yeah, because it's rained a lot. I mean, grass has been growing.
But there's the first time anybody's even cut it. I mean, they didn't even cut it down on the road, they didn't even finish it all.
I'm sorry, Bob.
Yeah.
They used to have Civil War encampments packed,
Yeah.
okay? Different events. That's probably one of the best spots in the town to see the sunset.
Yeah.
Right over the Sour Mountains. I mean, it's just spectacular.
I wonder if, because, you know, at the county, I remember at least when I was at the county, Tom D'Amico was in charge of historic there, and since he retired, I know he used to do a lot of stuff with the meadows. Maybe since he retired, it hasn't been advertised as much or something. I don't know what the reason is. Or maybe they changed their ways of where they advertise, I'm not sure.
I get emails whenever there's events at these places, but I don't know if that's because I signed
Well,
up
you
through them
signed
to
up for it,
get
that's
those
why.
emails.
That's
But if
why.
there's a way to advertise, to get people to sign up for those,
Yeah.
to receive those
That's true.
emails.
One thing
I
Suzanne
get
did
the
mention.
emails.
You do, so you probably saw, I don't get the email, so I don't know if I've ever signed up.
I saw that they had like a follow the Yellow Brick Road. Did you guys already talk about that?
No, but
So
I
the-
don't, yeah, that must be.
That was a
thing,
couple
yeah.
months ago. It was great. I saw it on social media. I saw it on Facebook. And they had where you could visit all the houses within half a mile. It was 4 houses within half a mile. And there were people there. I went to each of the houses. There were people there. It was,
Huh.
they had people dressed in period clothing,
Yeah, that's nice.
talking about the history. I found it.
And I've been to some of those, and it's nice, but they need to get it advertised so people
Yeah,
can see it.
they're attracting diehard people who know about it or registered on the website, but you're not gonna get new interest, what they're doing, because you don't know anything about it.
Give out coupons.
I feel like we have the same issue with trails, though. Like, we have such a hard time getting people to come. The only thing that we've done that's been successful is Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, when
Like,
we
partnering
partnered with
them.
Parks and Rec, we saw a big increase in how many more people come. So like all of our trails events, even though we really don't need people to register most of the time, we've noticed if we have a registration with Parks and Rec, we get a lot of people to come. So maybe they can do that too. I don't know, maybe they can.
You know, they used
Good
to
idea.
they used to hold paranormal, like, once or twice a year over there at White Hawk. It was always, I don't know what they charge, half of what the deal is, if they get money for the paranormal people to come in, but it's always booked.
Yep,
You know,
$20.
Yeah, it's always booked, and I don't know how much the Meadows gets out of it, but I mean, I don't know how many people they allow, but every year, every time they have it, that is definitely booked.
And the afternoon teas are fabulous when they have them, but they don't have them that many times.
They've got 2 events at the house near you that were sold out. One of them I went to was the Einstein lecture.
Yeah. Oh, one thing she did say too, actually, you just sparked my memory. So, because when I went to see all the 4 houses with Sue Ann, we put together that inventory of items that they need replaced or repaired. And she did mention, I think they used to have a lot more events like showers, weddings, things like that. And she did say that has come down a little bit. Now, I don't know why that is. She didn't explain to me why. But, like, for example, when I was at the Wyckoff Garrettson house, it was set up, they had just had a shower there, but I think for some reason you can only use half the house now for some reason. Maybe there was work being done. So that limited a shower of like 10 to 12 people. Not many people are gonna have a shower of 10 or 12 people. So maybe that's an issue too. Maybe that's it.
They always had showers and
Yeah.
things across from the.
Right.
I'd see it.
Yeah, and weddings, right?
Weddings, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great spot.
Yeah, we can ask, I'll ask her, she'll definitely call me back, you
Okay.
know, so.
Alrighty, let's move on. Any other old business? If not, any questions on the monthly activity report? If not, we'll move on.
Motion to approve the activity, consultant's activity report.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Update to other committees. Anybody got anything they want to talk about?
I mentioned to Tara about, and I kind of want to just on kind of the record, the Historic Commission wanted to take a tour of the Dunn House to see what the inside looks like. So, just to bring that up, so Tara can go to either Bob or Vince Carmenek and pick a day, and so we can go over there and take a look on the inside.
Raccoons let me in.
That's it.
And give me a fishing pole at home.
I have to bring one of those little ones.
Do we have any meetings scheduled this year at any of the historic houses?
We don't, but we can talk about it. We can definitely talk about setting up for one. I think last year we did the September, right, or October? I think it was September.
See if you do a Van Loo, I mean, it's just, They should be set up by then.
We've done Van Loo, but I'll do it again, you know?
Van Loo, a long time ago.
Yeah. on the committee.
Which is Sarah's house, Hageman?
Huh?
Hagen? That's Sarah's house, that's where we did it last.
That's where we're-
That was in the barn.
Without
Right,
light.
the barn,
Yeah,
the
we were
barn.
in the barn. Yeah.
So you'd like to try to go to Van Loo instead, everybody, yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah,
Fine.
why not?
If they can't do it there, you wanna do it back at the barn again, if you do it a little earlier, or do it during, do something different? Bring some lights?
Bring some lights, yeah.
We want to do it early enough. Start at 6 instead of 7.
You could do that.
And really, bring lights, you know what I mean, like.
All right, one or the other, see if we can set something up.
This is, I have something from the Environmental Commission, but it should probably go in Executive Committee, but just about, at last night's environmental meeting, there was a property discussed about the possible, there was a recommendation
Yeah.
about the possible purchase of it.
We'll take that up later. Nothing else?
Yep.
Public comment?
Open to the public.
So he's shaking his head, no, we're back going into it.
I close to the public.
Second.
All right, motion to go into executive session, and there will be no business taken
I'll make a motion to go into
After.
executive.
executive session.
So the first from Bob and then
Take somebody. There you go.
Mary.
All in
Okay.
favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good.